The issue I've Hi, this is my week 6 discussion board. The issue I've chosen this week is gas prices throughout the states. It's very difficult to have consistent revenue streams, and I believe it's unfair on how much gas price differentiates throughout the states. Because you can find gas for $5, maybe even more in California. Meanwhile, in a place like Tennessee, you can find it for $3 or less. I believe the federal government could address this issue by Congress proposing a fixed federal gas tax rate, meaning that it would be $4 in one state and $4 in a different state. Like it would be $4 in California, $4 in Tennessee, Maine, Florida, wherever else you'd think. The states would also lose the ability to increase or decrease the tax rate, meaning if California wanted to raise more on taxes, then they would not be able to. Raise more tax rates on gas, they wouldn't be able to, because it would be through the Congress and not just for the state of California. I believe that this should be a law because it ensures consistent revenue streams and fairness throughout the states. The Congress can impact this highly, though. The House of Representatives debates are specifically easy to pass by because it's population based. I believe that some of the higher population states, such as California, New York, would want to vote for this because it would mean cheaper gas prices for them. But I believe the not as populated, cheaper gas price states would also not like this bill or law because it would increase the gas price for them. This would make it very hard to get past the Senate, where every state has equal representation, no matter the population. It would be difficult to pass the Senate because of that. If maybe Tennessee and all these other states didn't want it, then it would be hard for California, New York, and maybe even Florida to pass this bill. How congressional leadership and committees would impact the process. The House Speaker would greatly impact this because he could sway the votes of many different senators or congressmen. And he would also decide if the bill reaches the floor. So his encouragement would be greatly needed here. Committees would also be useful and helpful to get this bill passed. The Finance Committee would be specifically helpful and needed to review specific things about this bill. Committee hearings could also significantly change this bill before floor votes. Regarding congressional decisions, what influences may play a role that could impact the process. Political influences could play a huge role because of party ideology. Some could not want this because they would believe that gas would be used more and then that would hurt the environment. Some would also be swayed because of economic influences, such as they would get more money if this bill passed. Public opinion is also a big thing. I talked about that earlier with the House of Representatives. Because so many members from bigger states, that public opinion would be very important on this, such as public opinion from California or New York, these high population states. How the power separated between Congress and the President could impact this process. The Congress specifically holds the power to pass the law, but the President needs to sign the bill into law, or it could be vetoed, or it could just sit on his desk for the rest of his term. The presidential powers related to the issue and how congressional delegation and the governance impact outcome. So the president can either veto, he can influence the passing of this bill through public messaging, such as Instagram tweets, speeches, and use agencies to help enforce the law. Congress can delegate details to agencies as well, It would be the Congress also oversees how the executive branch can enforce the tax. So the balance of power helps to ensure that neither branch can overpower the other. Thank you for listening to my discussion board.